Imagine the moment your biggest dream slips away, not because you weren't good enough, but because of a language barrier. What if I told you that failure could be the catalyst for an incredible transformation, leading you to fluency in just 5 months? Stick around because today I have an inspiring story for you, a story of resilience, unwavering belief, and how one young man turned his biggest setback into his greatest success. You won't want to miss the key lessons and a quick quiz at the end. Hello, English learners, and welcome to English Journey. I'm Celine, and I'm here to help you grow personally while mastering English. Today, we're diving into the incredible journey of Jake, a young man who went from not speaking a single full English sentence to landing his dream job in just 5 months. If you've ever felt frustrated, stuck, or embarrassed because of your English, this story is for you. Jake was exactly where many of you are, and his journey will show you exactly how to improve your English. Before we dive into Jake's inspiring journey, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We have so many valuable tips and motivational content coming your way. Stick around until the end because I'll be sharing the key lessons from Jake's journey and a quick quiz to test your understanding. You won't want to miss it. How one failure fueled a 5-month English transformation. Imagine the moment your biggest dream slips away, not because you weren't good enough, but because of a language barrier. That's where Jake's journey began. He was a talented software engineer from Brazil, dreaming of working for a big tech company in the US. He loved coding, was excellent at it, and worked tirelessly to be the best. Finally, his chance came, an interview with a huge US company. He was ecstatic, imagining his life in a new country, earning a high salary, and working with the best. But then, the interview happened. He remembers it like it was yesterday, 3 native English-speaking interviewers on Zoom. They started speaking, and it felt like someone had pressed fast forward on their voices. He couldn't understand anything. When they asked Jake, "Can you tell us a bit about yourself and your experience in software development?" he panicked. He knew the answer in his head, but the words wouldn't come out. He stammered, yes, I am software, I do coding, many projects good, I am very good. The silence that followed felt like a knife in his stomach. He couldn't answer another question, and in the end, they politely dismissed him. He had failed, not because of his skills in his field, but because he couldn't speak English. That day, Jake understood the true power of English. It wasn't just a language, it was the key to his dream, and he didn't have it. He felt ashamed, embarrassed, and angry at himself. For years, he had told himself English wasn't necessary, but now he saw the truth. Without English, he was invisible. That night, he made a life-changing decision. He would learn English, and he would learn it fast. Most people, when they decide to learn English, immediately pay for expensive courses. But Jake didn't. Why? Because he had already tried them, and they hadn't worked. A year prior, he had paid for an online English class where the teacher made him memorize vocabulary lists, do grammar exercises, and study boring rules. After 3 months, he still couldn't have a conversation. He knew expensive classes weren't the answer. He needed a different, real-life system. This is when his incredible 5-month method began. Part 1. The first 15 days, breaking the biggest beginner mistake. The biggest mistake beginners make is believing they need more words. Jake thought the same. Learn 1,000 words, speak fluently. But he already knew hundreds of words and still couldn't speak. So, for the first 15 days, he didn't study any new words. Instead, he focused on something far more powerful, learning to use the words he already knew. Here's exactly what he did. 1. Survival sentence list. He created a list of 50 simple sentences he needed for real life, like, "Hi, how are you? Can you repeat that? I don't understand, and I need a coffee, please." Every morning, he read these 50 sentences aloud, not once or twice, but 10 times. At first, his tongue felt slow, but after 5 days, these sentences became automatic. 2. Speaking to himself daily. This was one of his most powerful techniques. Whenever he was alone, he spoke English to himself. In the shower, he'd say, "I am taking a shower. The water is hot. I feel relaxed. While making breakfast, I am making eggs. I like eggs. They are easy to cook." Initially, he felt silly, but he realized it was his private classroom with no judgment. In just 1 week, his brain started thinking in English. 3. Practicing 5 sentences a day with a twist. He chose 5 sentences from movies or conversations daily, but he didn't just read them. He copied them exactly, repeating them 10 times with the same emotion, speed, and pronunciation as the native speaker. This helped him fix his accent and sound natural. By the end of these 15 days, something truly shifted. He stopped translating in his head and could say basic sentences without thinking. He felt more confident. But this was just the beginning. Part 2. The real practice begins. Building fluency. After fixing his initial mistake, Jake was ready for the next step. He could say basic sentences confidently, but he wanted real conversations and to understand native speakers without translating. He wanted to speak fluently. He realized his brain was slow at putting words together, even though he knew them. He needed to make speaking natural. Here's the new plan that changed everything. 1. The question-answer method. This simple yet powerful method trained his brain to think and speak without hesitation. He asked himself a simple question in English. He answered it immediately without overthinking. He repeated the process with different, increasingly detailed answers. For example, question, "What did you do today?" First answer, "I worked." Then, "I worked on my project." Further, "I worked on my project for 3 hours. Then I took a break." Finally, "I worked on my project for 3 hours, then I took a break and had some coffee." He did this every day for at least 30 minutes, dramatically improving his speaking speed, sentence length, and eliminating mental translation. 2. The echo technique for pronunciation. Jake still sounded foreign, so he used the echo technique to improve his pronunciation without a teacher. He listened to a native speaker from movies, YouTube, or podcasts. He paused the audio after each sentence. He repeated the sentence exactly, same speed, tone, and emotion. After a month of 30-minute daily practice, his pronunciation improved so much that native speakers remarked on how natural his English sounded. 3. The story method for vocabulary. Memorizing word lists didn't work for Jake. So, he used the story method to learn vocabulary and context. He picked 5 new words daily. He created a short story using all 5 words. He read the story aloud 10 times. He then used the words in his real conversations. Example: new words, excited, invitation, party, arrive, surprise. Story: I was very excited because I received an invitation to a big party. When I arrived at the party, I got a huge surprise. It was my birthday party. After 3 months, he had learned over 1,000 new words without memorizing lists. 4. Training his brain to think in English. A major hurdle for learners is translating from their native language. Jake trained his brain to think directly in English. He described everything around him in English. For example, the sky is blue, the weather is hot, I see people walking, that man is wearing a red shirt. He asked and answered questions to himself in English. For example, what am I doing right now? I am sitting in a chair drinking coffee and writing in my notebook. He wrote a daily journal in English, starting with simple sentences and gradually becoming more natural. Within weeks, he noticed he was no longer translating. English words came naturally to his mind. 5. The Tower English Rule. This simple yet powerful rule transformed his consistency. Every day, he committed to speaking English for at least 2 hours, no excuses. If he had no one to talk to, he talked to himself. If he lacked time, he spoke while cooking, cleaning, or walking. When lazy, he reminded himself, English is my future. I cannot quit. Part 3. The Final Breakthrough, Mastering the Nuances. Jake had built strong listening and speaking habits, but he realized understanding grammar and structure was crucial to sounding natural and avoiding confusion. 1. Observing native speaker structures. He started paying close attention to how native speakers structured sentences. He didn't just repeat. He asked, "Why is this sentence structured like this?" He learned that school English often differs from real-life English. He researched real-life tense usage, like when people use the present perfect tense and why they say, "I have been learning" instead of "I am learning." He wrote down common structures and practiced using them. 2. Conquering prepositions. Prepositions were a big challenge. On the bus versus in the car. At night versus in the morning. He kept a small notebook, jotting down confusing prepositions with examples and searching for answers or observing native speakers. 3. Daily English Diary. He accelerated his learning by writing a daily diary in English. He started simply. Today I went to work. I was tired. I ate pizza. It was good. To improve, he read blogs, books, and news articles, then tried to copy their writing style in his diary. 4. Intensive shadowing. He intensified his shadowing practice. He found videos of native speakers, put on headphones, and immediately repeated every word, matching their speed and pronunciation. 20 minutes a day dramatically improved his pronunciation in just a few weeks. 5. Active movie watching. Instead of passive watching, he watched English movies with subtitles, pausing after each sentence to repeat it, focusing on pronunciation, tone, and rhythm. Slowly, his English began to sound more natural. At this stage, Jake realized a crucial truth. English isn't just words and grammar. It's about confidence. Many people know English but are too scared to speak. He decided he wouldn't be afraid of mistakes. He started speaking English whenever possible, at work, at the store, with friends. Surprisingly, people understood him even with small mistakes, and they didn't laugh. This boosted his confidence immensely. But then came his biggest fear, talking to native English speakers. Terrified of freezing or not being understood, he devised a strategy. He prepared and practiced 10 common conversation topics daily, like "How was your day?" or "What do you do for work?" Then, he took the leap, joining an online group where people from different countries practiced English. He was nervous at first, but soon realized everyone was there to learn, just like him. He made friends, practiced together, and learning became fun. As he neared the final stage, an unshakable confidence grew within him. He was no longer the person rejected due to poor English. He had transformed himself through consistent effort, practice, and the right mindset. One day, speaking to himself in the mirror, he noticed something profound. No hesitation, no mental translation, just words flowing naturally. It felt like magic, but it was months of effort. That same day, he tested his progress by having a deep conversation with a native speaker in an online meeting. He was nervous, but reminded himself he had worked too hard to doubt himself. Then he spoke. Words came out clearly, confidently. He didn't struggle, and he understood others without feeling lost. People listened, nodded, and even asked him questions. It was an incredible moment, the day he knew he had achieved fluency. 5 months after starting his journey, he reapplied for his dream job. This time, he walked into the interview room with confidence, not as someone who feared English, but as someone who had mastered it. He spoke clearly, answered every question with ease, and could see the impression he made. A few days later, he got the call. "Jack, congratulations, you got the job." His dream job, with a starting salary of $7,000 a month. He called his parents, who had always believed in him, and shared the good news. With his first salary, he bought his father a beautiful watch and his mother a gold necklace, gifts to thank them for their sacrifices and belief. In that moment, he realized every struggle, every late night, every frustration was worth it. Key lessons from Jake's journey. Jake's story is a testament to the fact that anyone can learn English. Here are his most important lessons for achieving fluency quickly. 1. Mindset is everything. Most people fail because they believe they can't. Jake changed his mindset, telling himself, "English is not difficult. I can learn it just like any other skill." He stopped saying, "I am bad at English," and started saying, "I am improving every day." Believe you can, and you will find a way. 2. Surround yourself with English. Make English a part of your daily life. Change your phone language. Watch only English content. Listen to English songs, and follow English-speaking influencers. Name objects in English around you. This feeds your brain with English constantly and builds vocabulary naturally. 3. Speak without fear. Mistakes are part of learning. Don't be afraid to speak. Native speakers appreciate your effort, not your perfection. Force yourself to speak, to shopkeepers, strangers, and even to yourself. The more you speak, the better you become. As Chris Lonsdale from TEDx Lingnan University says, "When you don't speak a language, you're like a baby. And if you drop yourself into a context, which is all adults talking about stuff over your head, you won't learn. Start mixing, be creative, and have fun with it." 4. Active listening and shadowing. Listening is as crucial as speaking. Train your ears by listening to English podcasts, audiobooks, and conversations. Practice shadowing listening to a sentence and repeating it immediately, mimicking pronunciation and rhythm. This improves your accent and fluency. Remember, your brain has filters that let in familiar sounds and filter out unfamiliar ones, so physiological training is essential. 5. Expanding vocabulary smartly. Instead of memorizing long word lists, learn words in context. Focus on phrases instead of single words. For example, "I feel so happy today" instead of just happy. Learning in context makes words easier to remember and use naturally. In English, 1,000 words cover 85% of daily communication, and 3,000 words cover 98%. Focus on the core. 6. Grammar without books. Don't spend hours studying grammar books. Learn grammar naturally by listening and speaking. When you make a mistake, note it and correct yourself. The best way to learn grammar is by using the language, not memorizing rules. 7. Consistency over perfection. Don't wait to be perfect before you start speaking. Begin from day one, even with a few words. Make a rule. Do something in English every day. Consistency is key, even on lazy days. As Chris Lonsdale notes, if you're one of those people who needs to understand 100% every word you're hearing, you will go nuts. Because you'll be incredibly upset all the time because you're not perfect. If you're comfortable with getting some, not getting some, just paying attention to what you do understand. You're going to be fine, relaxed, and you'll be learning quickly. Remember, you don't need expensive classes or a perfect environment. You just need a strong desire and a commitment to practice every day. Your English journey starts now. I hope Jake's powerful story has inspired you as much as it has inspired me. It shows that learning English is not just about words and grammar, but about transforming yourself and unlocking new opportunities. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to English Journey for more inspiring content. Now, for a quick quiz to check your understanding. Question 1. What was Jake's biggest mistake in his initial attempt to learn English? Question 2. Name one technique Jake used during his first 15 days of focused practice. Question 3. How did Jake improve his pronunciation without a teacher? Question 4. What method did Jake use to learn new vocabulary effectively? Question 5. What was Jake's final breakthrough moment? Share your answers in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you for joining me today on English Journey. Remember, your future self will thank you for starting today. Speak, listen, practice, and never give up. This isn't just about learning English, it's about changing your life. You are brave, you are doing something amazing, and I believe in you. Keep learning, keep dreaming, and keep growing. See you in the next video.